Folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, and welcome to Assetto Corsa, Riverside International Raceway in Orange County, California. We're going to do our first test of Assetto Corsa and see if we can't use this as kind of a counterpart to Project Cars 2 and get both of them going as well. So I'll get the race started, and as we're rolling, I'll kind of bring you up to speed on what's going on. As you can see, we are in a Lola T70 Mark II Spyder, and it does have the Ford motor in it. So here we go. And as always, we're starting at the back of the pack. Frame rate's going to tank while everybody takes off. And you know my technique is to just let them all sort it out. So the reason we are in Assetto Corsa, and the reason I decided to get this going, is I love Project Cars, and I believe that is going to be my kind of go-to race sim. Assetto Corsa, I have to say, I think gets it on physics. I feel like it's a slightly better. I mean, Project Cars 2 is no joke. But I feel like Assetto Corsa wins on physics, but not on graphics. So the overall experience, the overall whatever, immersion, for me is slightly better. Oh, God, that 429 Mustang. The overall experience, for me, is better on Project Cars. Easy. But Assetto Corsa has, I think, just phenomenal physics. And they also have mod content, which Project Cars, at least as far as I know, does not have. So I felt like racing some old school, late 1960s, early 1970s sports cars. And when I think about that, I think about Riverside, California. It was gone before my time. I never saw a race there. But you know, arguably the three sort of spiritual homes of racing are Europe, Japan, and the United States. I know Europe's a little big. There's a lot of countries in Europe, but I think about the great racing traditions in France and England and Germany. But sports cars, oh, God. And big block carbureted V8s, like the one that just blew past us. I think it's Southern California. And this is a great track. I'm using the AC Legends 10-in-1 pack. That's where there's Corvettes and there's, well, I'll tell you the mix that we have going on. So I'm in the Lola, and we've got, from the base game, we've got the Porsche 908 and the Shelby Cobra, and then from that AC pack, the Corvette, there's a Ferrari Daytona in there. Oh, also from the base game, we've got the Ferrari 250 GT and the Ferrari 330 P4. The AC Legends pack has that Carrera RSR. I believe that's like a 72, 73 Carrera RSR that we just passed. I didn't bring in, or maybe I should have, but I didn't bring in the GT40 or the 917. Oh, great sound in this game too. There's a 330 right there. The Shelby Daytona Coupe is in that pack as well, and then I got a couple of old Mustangs. They aren't in race trim. They're just, one's a Boss, one is a MkII. So they really wouldn't be able to run with these cars. But just fun. They're just fun cars to have in there. So I've been playing with the game a little bit. The graphics, like I said, are not, you know, I'm kind of spoiled on Project Cars as far as the graphics. But there are some settings, there are some preloads, and they have names like movie and vintage. So I've been seeing if I can get the graphics a little bit more to my liking. Now, I will say that the graphics are, if anything, too crisp. I feel like there's not enough softening and post effect. Yeah, I'm just pedaling it through there. I feel like there's not enough softening. I feel like the graphics are too sharp, and it's giving them kind of a cold look. Now, I don't know if that's good because it's sort of photographically accurate, or if it's, I don't know, cartoony. We'll see. We'll see on the replay. I think I got my setup all right. I'm finding in both Project Cars 2 and in Assetto Corsa, it's all about setup. Well, set up and then you have to drive the hell out of the car. Alright, tires are getting warmed up and I'm coming up behind a big snarl of traffic. Turn 7, man, if you don't know Turn 7, Google it. Turn 7 at Riverside it's a piece of work, man. And this is a later version of the track. It's got the dog leg before. Oh yeah, is that Daytona Coupe? So this straight right here used to go straight into this 180-degree sweeper, and there was no dog leg, and the radius on the sweeper was tighter, and it was known for there would be brake failure. There were a ton of accidents in this turn right here. Before the dog leg, it would just chew brakes up during a race. So, a lot of sports car racing here, Southern California sports car racing, and they ran, I believe, at least one, maybe 2 Grand Prix. Man, when I read about how Formula One used to be run, and all the crisscrossing and the World Driver Championships, and it was like Indy, like the Indy 500 back in the day, when you could just show up with a car, and it wasn't quite like Formula Libre, but it was close. They used this track for Can-Am. Speaking of Formula Libre, they used this track for Can-Am as well. Yeah, it sounds like I'm braking so early for turn 7, but it's got that ramp in front of it, and then it just drops away. So you have to do all your braking like well before the turn. If you're still trying to brake after you crest that little hill, that little hillock in front of it, you just instantly shoot to the outside. And I think I've got fuel on board. I tried to calculate fuel on board for the whole race. I hope, because I don't see us changing tires. I don't see us pitting at all and having any kind of a meaningful finish. He wants it. Tag it. So what do we got? Now, I haven't seen the 908, and it's, you know, it's weird. Something else that I'll say, a difference between Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa. I feel like in Project Cars 2, it's easier to match a field by performance. No, 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 no. It's easier to match a field by performance. And with Assetto Corsa, it's, you know, we do have kind of a mismatch almost as far as the field today. Like those 908s, I don't know if we'll be able to catch them at all, but then those Mustangs, we passed those, you know, halfway through the first lap, and we'll probably lap them, you know, 2 or 3 times. So I want to race. I don't just want to pass cars, and I don't want to get lapped. I want to find cars that run about the same speed as I do, and I want to race with them. And that's a little trickier to set up. I feel like, what would you call that? Handicapping is a little more challenging in Assetto Corsa. Or if there's a way to do it, I haven't found it yet. I feel like I always need to kind of throw that, what is that, a caveat? Yeah, I need to throw that in there. Because I feel sometimes like I'm not bad-mouthing games, but, you know, the idea of bitching about something that a game will or won't do the way you need it to. And then you find a thread, and a person is like, oh yeah, just use the automatic field matching tool. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. But, like, just as an example. Oh, sorry, buddy. Just as an example, you know, maybe there is a, I don't know if there is or not, but maybe there is a tool to, getting loosey-goosey. Tires aren't going away, are they? Nope. Just me being a Grom. And, you know, the other thing that's nice about mod content in racing is you can see the real sponsors on the cars. Because between licensing and tobacco and alcohol, you can't have tobacco and alcohol in a game. It changes the rating or the ranking or whatever. But a lot of these things, they can't get licensing for them anyway. But to see the martini on the 906 back there gives it a very immersive and authentic feel. Right, I think it's just going to be who's out in front of us. I know the 908s and probably the Corvettes. There's one right there. So I think I got my setup dialed. Now, I'll also say that the AI on Assetto Corsa is next level. I have it dialed so far back and it's still fighting me. On Project Cars 2, I feel like I can get the AI dialed, and I can have a challenging race, good competition, whatever. Man, this thing will just turn sideways. Definitely steer the car with your right foot. I feel like in Project Cars 2 I can get the competition dialed, not the type of car, but how they drive, how they race. I feel like I can get that dialed pretty easily. And that's tricky because, well, like I was saying earlier about the actual cars themselves that you're racing against. You know, you don't want to sandbox it, but you also don't want to put yourself in a position where there's just no possibility of you having a decent result. Which is the whole point of having adjustable AI, that you can sort of fine-tune it, you know, dial it to your skill level. And I think I'm a decent fake race car driver. Not the best, but I do all right. Except right there. So that's a tricky thing to balance. You know, I would never want to set up the AI so that it's, you know, I run the best lap that I can run, and then I just dial the AI in to run slightly slower, go out and beat everybody. I want it to be challenging, but I want it to be, I don't know, like, authentically challenging. Hard to explain. This game gets it, but not as, maybe not as easily or as instinctively. I'm not saying it right. But you know what I mean. I hope you do. Feels like the tires are starting to go away just the tiniest bit. right there, just like that. If you're still braking as you crest that hill, as soon as the track drops away, after that little hillock, there's just zero grip. I'm going to, I mean, I wouldn't say start protecting, but with my, I can feel the tires starting to go away. And I may have to, what are we, halfway done? Yeah, it's a little early to start defending. We'll see. Play it by ear. Damage is on as well. I didn't do my little pre-race. I have the map on, although I could turn it off. Probably should have. I had it on when I was learning the track, but I could turn it off now. Brake line and race line obviously is off. Cheats are off. Assists are off. I do have the AI. There's only... No, I take that back. There's 2 settings. I was thinking there was... Oh, really? Why you gotta do me like that? Let me get my bearings here. My rhythm's all gone. So there's 2 settings for the AI. There is skill and aggression. And I have both turned down. Way down. So I don't know if this is just when I get off like that, when I go off in the dirt, I feel like for the next, I don't know, maybe not half a lap, maybe less than that, the next, I don't know, mile or so, when I'm back on track, I feel like everything is just completely out of whack. Now, I thought that it was the game sort of replicating, right? Because you take a hot, sticky race tire and then roll it through dust, it's going to get dirt all over it, and it's going to lose grip for a little while till it gets rid of all that dirt. So I thought maybe it was that, but it could also be just me being like completely losing my mojo. I want this little 906. Oh, that's right. That's what you get. Yep, tires are going away. Yep, okay. Well, fortunately, I can kind of race by myself. I don't really see anybody nearby. And I think this dot up in front of us is one of the Mustangs. Yeah, it seems like for turn 7, it seems like I'm braking way too early. But that's the rhythm. I don't know. I mean, it seems like sort of a no-brainer. Speaking of no-brain, come on, man. It seems like sort of a no-brainer, but I've never gotten a definitive answer on whether the AI tires go away and whether they have to continually adjust to less grip. I don't know if that's the case or not. It seems like, right? It seems like you would make that, you'd build that into the code. But I don't know if they do or not. What else is going on? Even with 20, how many cars do we have? 24? 24 AI cars, we're still holding about 50 FPS. I just gotta remember to start babying the tires a little bit. So frame rate's good, and I'll continue playing with those graphics settings. Maybe that wasn't. I thought the next car in front of us was one of the Mustangs, and we were about to lap it. But now I'm thinking maybe not. Right. Okay. So last lap we took one second off our lap time, and we're forecast to do the same. Well, we were. We were looking to do the same thing right there. But looks like these tires might still have some good lap times in them. Now, who's this up ahead of us? Because I would love to get on a podium. I think this is a GTO that we're about to lap. Sure enough. Right. Thing's got some power. Yeah, go wide open first or second gear and it just instantly wants to loop on you. Now who are these guys? This can't all be lap traffic. Come on, give me a podium. Now, this is typically when I throw it away. Late in the race, tires are going away. Is one of those cars smoking? Is that what I saw? Is that a thing in this game? I could have sworn. Did I not see that? We'll check the replay. I could have sworn one of those cars was smoking. So this is typically when I throw it away. Late in the race, tires are going away, and I'm pushing too hard. Right. Right. Well, I passed somebody for a position. I don't know who it was. There's our podium. So now what do? Do we protect or we go for the win? I might have to go for the win because they are, feels like they are right behind me. What was I just saying? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, game. Well, we didn't give up a spot. I think everybody's tires are going away because there was some traffic right behind us, and it's not anymore. Although, to be fair, it is coming out of that number 8 complex, and we're at the end of a big straight, so We'll see. Okay, a couple more laps. We can do this. Maybe. Maybe. Giving this guy some room, because the AI does tend to... They do some weird braking stuff sometimes. They're not always 100% predictable, and I think some of it actually has to do with you. I think when you get close to them, they're sort of factoring in, you know, how to... It's almost as if they're getting ready to yield the race line, right? Like they're being blue flagged. Yeah, I like turn 7. I like turn 8. That whole turn 8 complex, but it is tricky because it's like decreasing radius, off camber decompression. So you know, nothing going on there. There's an engineer feature in Project Cars 2, and he's always, you can turn it off, but if you have it on, if you leave it on, your engineer is always barking in your ear. It's going to sound ridiculous. It bothers me in Project Cars 2, but I kind of miss it now. It's like sort of keeping you company. But I do wish, and again, there may be a setting for this and I just haven't found it yet, but it would be nice to have him give you some information, but not always be yelling at you. And he does, this is going to sound ridiculous too, but he does scare the hell out of me sometimes. I'll be really, really concentrating, focused hard on something, and the engineer will say something like just at the absolute wrong second, and it startles me. Which, I know, sounds a little weird. No. Oh. So I don't necessarily want all the things that the engineer yells, but they do, he does. Give you some information to when your eyes are really locked on driving, when your eyes are kind of locked on the race line and you can't even look at the other information on the screen. It is nice to have an engineer speaking it to you, so you don't have to try to look away to read it. And it sounds, if that may sound mental, like, what do you mean? It's just right there. You don't have to turn your head or anything. You just flick your eyes to another part of your monitor. It sounds ridiculous to say it, but there are times when, at least for me, when I'm focused on the race line so intently that I can't even look to another part of the monitor. Right. So before we get done, what's my best lap is 1:56.374. That's not bad. Now, I got what? A dog leg and a sweeper. I'm trying not to wad it up in the final corner. I've done it. I think this is lap traffic. It better be. Second place. Okay, not bad. I'll take it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for our first episode of Assetto Corsa from Riverside. We'll see you next time. Take care now.